It has been so long since we have done a Twitter video. Well, my friends, guess what we are doing today? A Twitter video. If you couldn't tell by the title. So I've talked a lot about how to grow on Twitter on this channel. I have an entire playlist of how to grow on Twitter videos. I talked about getting your first 100 followers, your first 1,000 followers, your first 10,000 followers, but I recently passed 20,000 followers on Twitter, and there were a few things that I had to do differently in order to grow from 10K up to 20K, so I figured that I would share those with you today because they might help you grow your Twitter account as well. So in my 100 Twitter followers video, I talked a little bit about creating your own identity on Twitter and how to find an audience and really how to go out onto the platform and connect with those people consistently. And something that really surprised me in my growth from 10K followers to 20K Twitter followers is that I kind of had to tweak who I was speaking to a little bit. Now, this is something that I would not have been able to do if I didn't have the skill set that I talked about in those previous videos. And this is why it's so important that as a content creator, you learn these basic foundational skills that we talk about on this channel. Otherwise, whenever you hit these problems in your career later on down the road, you're not gonna know how to solve those problems and you're gonna plateau in your growth, or you're just not gonna be able to make it through that situation. So these foundational skills are really important because they come back over and over and over again. Now, I didn't have to pivot a ton. Most of my content has always been for Twitch streamers. This YouTube channel, my Instagram, my podcast is called the Stream Coach Podcast, also my Twitter, of course, and I have an entire company called Stream Coach where I create products and services to help other streamers grow. However, I have been speaking a little bit more generally on my Twitter account, and also I've restructured this YouTube channel a little bit because I have noticed that my Twitter videos have actually been just as successful, if not more successful, than my Twitch videos are. And I know that people who are interested in my Twitter videos, y'all have a lot of problems that I have solutions for as well because I have such a long history as a content creator and on social media in general. So that's kind of the switch that I've had to make recently, and I'll probably have to pivot a little bit more in the future as well, maybe 3, 4, or 5 times more. This is something that's very natural as you kind of grow as a human being. Your brand grows and evolves as well, and that's perfectly okay. It's gonna happen and you should not be afraid of it or hold yourself back. However, the thing that sucks about little pivots like these is that right before they happen, you usually have this huge period of like confusion, wondering if your stuff is actually working, if you're targeting the right people. And so I always go back to my free workbook. So these are the 6 exercises that I use to kind of define my brand and give me a little bit more clarity and direction if I'm ever feeling a little bit confused about where I'm actually headed as a content creator. Now, this workbook does say that it is for streamers, but these are exercises that literally any content creator can use. So feel free to check those out if you are not sure what you're doing online. The second thing that I did in order to grow from 10K Twitter followers up to 20K Twitter followers is that I really decided to shift my focus a little bit with the types of tweets that I was actually creating. So in my How I Got 10K Followers Twitter video, I outlined the different engagement types that exist on Twitter and the different types of tweets that created that type of engagement for your Twitter account. So I specifically focused on creating content that was more shareable as opposed to creating a lot of content for comments or likes, because my thought process was if I create stuff that resonates with people so much that they want to retweet it to their followers as well, that means that I'm exposing myself to a lot more people a lot more efficiently versus likes or comments. Now, this definitely does work, and if you're not doing this already, I highly recommend it, so make sure you check out that 10K Twitter followers video. But for someone like me who had been focusing on this for so long, I was already doing this, and it definitely helped grow me a little bit, but I would say that it was more effective at helping me maintain the Twitter follower growth that I was already seeing. It didn't actually help me grow extra fast compared to something else that I did, which I will talk about here in just a minute. Now, once again, creating tweets that were actually going to be retweeted a lot and shared a lot was something that I was only able to do because I had built this foundational skill set in the very beginning of my Twitter journey. And this is why if you're trying to grow on Twitter, you have to know exactly what to do in order to get comments and retweets and likes. And you need to be able to have a system that is going to help you do that work every single day. I actually built something for y'all that is going to help you figure out exactly what you should say on Twitter every single day of the week. This is the exact strategy that I follow with my Twitter account, and this is what I recommend to all of my coaching clients. I mean, this is it. If you need help growing on Twitter, I've created a course called 1-2 Twitter that is going to teach you exactly what you need to do. You're not going to need to go out and watch more YouTube videos like this. You will not need anything else other than that. You can get access to my Twitter course, 1-2 Twitter, with the link down below in the description. Also, because Twitter is a freaking social media platform, it's going to change and grow and evolve. And yes, I will be updating the material inside of 1-2 Twitter whenever those changes do happen, so that you will always be updated on what is going on and how to continue to grow on the platform. The next thing that I did in order to grow from 10K Twitter followers up to 20K Twitter followers is, you might not like this one actually, don't get mad at me, giveaways. So something that's really important on any social media platform is that you pay attention to the strategies that other people are using in order to grow their accounts, because things change all the time. And so something that I started picking up on Twitter is that there were big accounts like Polte or DNP3, and they were doing these giveaways and they were growing incredibly quickly. Now, if you've seen these accounts before and you're wondering if these people are scammers, no, they are not. They are legitimately giving away straight up cash to people, and these people are actually getting this cash. Now, I did try one because I kind of feel like if I'm gonna be making videos about Twitter, I should be trying out all of the weird different growth strategies that people are using and reporting back to y'all on whether they did or didn't work, so that way you know what actually works and what doesn't, so you don't have to waste your time on stuff that doesn't work. So I can report to you that yes, running a giveaway through Twitter does work. However, there are some caveats to it. So the experiment that I ran was that I went to gridgaming.io, I believe, which is something that DNP3 actually coded and developed. And I talked to him quite a bit about this just to see how it works and if it's actually legitimate, which it is. And so I spent, I think, $125 to run a $50 giveaway, which, you know what? He's making like 75 bucks off of that, and I'm all for it because I'm a businesswoman myself. Sick, dude, love it. And what you do is this $50 cash giveaway runs on the gridgaming.io Twitter account, which has tons of followers on it and gets retweets very quickly. And to get the followers, people have to follow your Twitter account in order to be eligible to win the $50. Now, this definitely worked, but it can appear a little bit fishy if you don't legitimately know this process and if you don't know that people are actually getting the money. Like, if you were just throwing $125 to DNP3, I'd be like, this is a problem, dude. Nah. But it's actually inspired a lot of other people to give away cash to people who are in really bad financial situations. And I don't know, I think that's pretty great. If people want to pay to have Twitter followers and they're improving other people's lives at the same time, to me, that doesn't feel like it's compromising my morals or my ethics. But there's something huge that you need to know, and that is that if you are not creating value for people on Twitter already, that this is going to be a complete waste of your time, because if you aren't creating value, the people who follow you from these giveaway tweets are not going to stick around. It's really important to me that the tweets that I send out are really valuable, and I still had like 500 to 1,000 people unfollow me. So that goes to show you that it is very important that you make sure that you are giving out value. Otherwise, they're gonna unfollow. And even if you are giving out value, sometimes you will get some people who unfollow you as well. That's just kind of the nature of giveaways. Even if you're running giveaways through like a Gleam campaign, for example, if you're giving away like an Xbox or a Stream Deck or a new camera or something, you can still have people who come and follow you specifically for that giveaway and then unfollow you later on. It's kind of the name of the game whenever it comes to giveaways, but there is a reason that you see the largest content creators, YouTubers, Twitch streamers still running giveaways all the time. It's because they do work. They just work a little bit differently than you expect them to. What a giveaway will actually do for you is it's going to kind of use the traffic of people who want that free thing to get you in front of people who are legitimately interested in your content. So don't go around thinking that giveaways are complete trash and kind of scammy. Actually, what they are is they are a legitimate like source of you giving goodness out into the world and giving stuff away while also capturing some goodness for yourself too. But it all comes down to your morals, your ethics, and whether or not it feels right for you. Giveaways are actually one thing that I don't talk about in my 1-2 Twitter course. So if y'all want me to add that into the actual course material, whether it's Gleam giveaways or these cash giveaways, or if you want to learn just more about growing on Twitter with that giveaway strategy, let me know in a comment down below and I'll be sure to add a new training to the course. Now, speaking of Twitter, it is not the only platform that you need to be creating content on if you want to be successful as a content creator. Twitter and YouTube are actually at the very top of the successful content creator funnel, but there are still other platforms that you need to be participating on if you want to be successful, maybe go full-time, have your own business, or whatever your goal is. If you just want to grow a bunch of followers, there is an entire funnel system that I have developed to help you do that, which I talk a lot about in this YouTube video. So go and check that one out. I'll see you over there, and don't forget to subscribe if you like plants. This isn't a plant channel. I'm out of here. Don't listen to me anymore.